alumni, you know what I mean?
You can't handle the truth.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Market Report. I am Army Piper. This is the Piper Academy Network, and I'm wearing my OG shirt. It's OG Monday, guys. Got my OG coffee mug. Shout out to Alex O Crypto, OG mug. And it's also DCA Monday. We did the DCA Piper plan, all dropped fresh and new in the Discord today. So, guys, if you guys are members, go check that out. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We'll come around and give a shout out to everybody here in just a moment. But, guys, Bitcoin. You see this, like, these are 4-hour candles. You see this, like, stagnant line of just no movement all weekend long, guys. That is a value area high on a fixed range volume profile. We did get a nice rejection right there off of the top of the gold, platinum pocket. We came down and tried to get back in, rejected from the platinum pocket. Guys, where can we be heading? I'm looking very closely back at where? The golden pocket again. We've talked about this level numerous times. I did do some changes to the fibs. I'm going to talk about those today. Had to do some adjustments. Time's moved on, right? New data. Let's reset those fibs and take a look at them. But you can see that 50% fib played beautifully. And as I've always told you guys, when we come down onto the 50% fib and find support, that is typically very bullish price action. And there you go. There's the setup. I want Piper's hat. Username, what's my Peaky Blinder? Wearing it today. Why? Because I didn't have time to shave this weekend, guys. Did not shave my dome. I got family in town visiting. So, you know, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do, right? Today, guys, though, we're going to talk about Cardano. There's an article on Cardano I want to talk about. They're saying price predictions made by Gemini AI, ChatGPT AI, and Grok AI. What are they saying about those levels and what they're predicting for Cardano? We'll talk about that article and a lot more right here today on the Morning Market Report. You guys know what time it is. Everyone get your notebooks out. Take your seats. Take your seats. Class is in session. Let's get it. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Market Report. This is the show where we bring you guys the news, the headlines, the macroeconomic analysis that you need to understand the market moves because knowledge is profit, and we try to give you all that knowledge here. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat with us. So go ahead and bring up the chat cam. Guys, OC will not be with us today. No OC today. He is working diligently on some other stuff that he has to do. I actually think it's a medical appointment. I think he's got a dentist appointment. But anyway, I digress. He is working on that. So, yeah, we got the chat. Let me get that little chat. There we go. It's solo chat day. Shout out to username. Shout out to DDT. I see you in there, man. Darren doing things always. Crypto coin mindset. Keith, we're going to be redirected over to them. I went to go redirect to Keith today, and it said that he was starting at 9 o'clock my time, which is now. And I was like, is this correct, Keith? And he's like, oh, no, good catch, bro. So, yeah, we're going to be redirecting over to Crypto Coin Mindset with Trade Intuition and Keith after this. 2Dub is in here, giving the good mornings. Daniel Barnes, salute to you, brother. Appreciate you, man. Always being here. Alexandra G, the mod queen, is in the house with us. Username Frank the Tank DGen Buck. He said, good morning. Nice hat. Appreciate you, Buck. I haven't talked to Buck in a while. I used to talk to Buck like at least 2-3 times a week. Just pick up the phone and call. I've been so freaking swamped with family coming and getting the house set up and all of the contractors and everything else. I feel like I've neglected Buck, and when you neglect Buck, he poops on your floor. So I gotta go spend some time with him on the phone today. Mike Play, shout out to you. Appreciate you being here. Dylan VA, always. Wick 589, pimping pipes. So what's up, man? Missed Peaky Blinders himself. There you go. Appreciate you being here, man. Love the Wicks. Robert Mulligan, what's up, brother? How you doing, man? Appreciate you. Average Crypto Joe, and who else? Ninja Glock. I think that's it. There we go. Guys, appreciate everyone that's in here right now. And if you have smashed that like button, you are awesome. You're a superstar. So let's go and get into what we are seeing on this market side. Let's talk about all the macro data today and stuff, and then we'll get into this chart. Bitcoin getting a little move back up here. This candle, it's now a really big wick to the downside. So Don't neglect Buck. Do not neglect Buck. Please, for the love of God, do not neglect Buck. Again, he will poop on your floor. Let's go check this out over here. There we go. Get that set up. And we're going to the news. Bam, there we are. We're on the news. Let's go check out the metrics today from Into The Cryptoverse. Link down below for this, guys. Total crypto market cap right now sitting at $3.356 trillion. The trend on this is about $4.026 trillion. We're currently undervalued about $16.6 trillion in total crypto market cap. Of course, you know, majority of that coming off of altcoins, right? Current risk levels for Bitcoin right now is at 54.8. That makes it a 2x DCA. So shout out to the alumni over there getting that DCA Piper plan for all the altcoins and Bitcoin and profit taking and so on and so forth. You guys are why I get up earlier on Mondays just to put that stuff out for you and get it in your grubby little hands, man. Grubby little hands. All right. Bitcoin dominance. Talk about that. Bitcoin dominance with stable coins is sitting at 64.44% today. Without stables, remove those stable coins, you're sitting at 69.51%. Bitcoin holding its dominance pretty well right now, I have to say. Jump over to the crypto bubbles. And let's talk about what's happening on the hourly and the daily. Daily, you can see there's a nice mix of red going on, but you go on the hourly and we're getting this little turnaround. That's that 4-hour candle that I said was wicking back up. Bitcoin right now sitting at 108,588. Ethereum is sitting at 2,563. Bitcoin's down for the day. Ethereum bouncing back up again. XRP getting a nice run up 2.4% today. Other big movers. Let's see here. Hyperliquid's up 1.1. Where's Cardano? Where you at, Ada? Right there. Up 0.4% on the daily, up 1.2% on the hourly, sitting at 58.9 cents. Let's keep this number in mind, guys. We're going to talk about a price prediction on this today. 58.9 cents there on Cardano. Let's go over and take a look at SWI. SWI is down on the daily now, 1.1%, making a little rebound of 1.1% on the hourly. So it was down 2.2. And a shout out to the Otter gang joining the chat. Appreciate you guys rolling in here. We're getting swarmed by otters. There's otters everywhere. Chainlink, guys, up 1.5%, far off from $800, sitting at 13.66. Stellar Lumens, guys. There's an article I saw this morning. I didn't know if I was going to do this article. I might if I have time. But it was talking about Stellar Lumens is picking up a lot of momentum and about to hit critical resistance. I think we will look at the chart at least. We won't talk about that article. We won't go over the article. We talked about it just now, didn't we? But we're going to take a look at that chart for Stellar Lumens because it is hitting some critical resistance. And we might be looking at a retracement. Maybe a short opportunity there. Avalanche sitting at number 17, down about 0.1%. Shiba Inu, Toncoin, and HBAR rounding out the top 20 there. Litecoin losing that top 20 spot, moving down to number 21, down 1.1% on the daily. All right, let's see here. On X, we got the fear and greed index. We're back in greed. We're at 73. This thing dropped down into the 60s over the weekend. Now getting that little bounce back. Kabisi letter put out that the President Trump says any company aligning with anti-American policies of BRICS, that's Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, if you guys don't know, now you know, will be charged an additional 10% tariff. Trump adds there will be no exceptions to this policy. So, you know, July 9th, that was that big window of time for the extension on the tariffs, and we were looking at the tariffs going into effect on July 9th. They've now been pretty much kicked down the road to August, so we did get an extension, even though he said, I'm not doing any extensions. We got an extension to August, but now it is, hey, you guys need to come to the table with your negotiations, and if you're doing any business at all with BRICS, there's no negotiation to make. You're getting hit with the extra tariff. So that is causing a little bit of turmoil with the markets because let's be honest, India, China, they're pretty big companies to pretty big countries when it comes to businesses, right? Alex O, bro, what's up, man? Got your coffee mug? Got your shirt? Got the otters in the chat? We're here, man. OG Mondays. And delicious coffee it is. I bought an espresso. The Nespresso machines. And man, it makes really good espresso shots. It really does. It's bussin', as my son would say. Actually, I don't think my son says that anymore. He's moved on to other words. Um, looking at the liquidation heat map here, or the liquidation for the last 24 hours, guys. In the past 24 hours, 63,433 traders got liquidated. So liquidations coming in at $166.8 million. Largest single liquidation order happened on Binance. It was Ethereum for 12.33%. Markets right now in the TradFi side. Let's give it a refresh. Ihachi, how you doing there, man? Tobias, I appreciate you, bro. And I think JR, did JR roll in here too? JR, I think did. Someone said the ninja has arrived. What's up, Luke Zeldana? Appreciate you guys joining us here this morning. All right, let's take a look at what's going on the TradFi side of the world. Dow Jones down today, guys, 0.3%. S&P down about 0.4%, and the Nasdaq down almost 0.6%. Russell 2K also sitting 0.6% down. We are seeing the VIX turn into the green and move up a little bit. It's above that Alex O level of 17, which means we could see some volatility coming into the markets. We like volatility as traders, but we don't like volatility when it's too volatile because it just hits our stop losses, turns around, bounces all over the place, and just wrecks trades. And then you revenge trade, and then you're just it's a downhill slide, man. Let's take a look at what the European markets looked like overnight. They were mostly in the green. Asia markets were mixed. Nifty 50, that's India and Shanghai, both to the upside. Everything else in the red. Bond market getting a rebound on that 10-year treasury yield, 4.371. And this is the range that I said, look, we keep saying hit 4.3, 4.2, 4.3, 4.2. Probably going to see this pull back sometime this week. But right now it is making a move to the upside, up about 0.03%. Oil is in the green today, and we're seeing a price resurgence on that back towards $70, $67.32. Might have something to do with the fact that we had a ceasefire, right, in Israel and Iran. There was a ceasefire. And then prices started to settle back down because that meant, hey, not going to see a whole lot of, Iran mining dropping water mines in the Strait of Hormuz, which is where most of the gas comes from, so on and so forth, right? Well, yesterday, Yemen, the Iranian-funded and backed Houthis in Yemen fired rockets back at Israel again. So, hey, so much for a ceasefire. We'll see how Israel reacts to that because while, yes, it was not Iran that fired those, it is Iranian-backed. And so, by default, by proxy, they could be tied to it at the end of the day by Israel. So, I think that's why we're seeing prices come back up on oil. Looking at gold, gold's pulling back a little bit, but still sitting at $3,323. So not too bad. And then, that's pretty much it on that. So silver's at 36, copper, platinum, and palladium, all to the downside today in red. Let's go and check out the economic calendar. Nothing this week, guys. Kind of slow this week. Nothing today on Monday. 0. Tomorrow, Tuesday, we get API crude oil stocks changes. Not that big of a deal in the market side, market reaction side, I should say. Wednesday, we're going to get the 30-year fixed rate mortgage, currently at 6.79%. And then, hello. Hi, how are you doing? Let me get rid of you. And let me go bring back up. There we go. Cool. Thanks. Now, this thing just totally jumped all around on me. I hate when this thing does this. Let's do that again. There we go. Bring it up. Bring it back like you left something. Perfect. Perfect. There we go. Yeah, so looking at this week, guys, nothing big on Tuesday going on. Wednesday, we're going to get that fixed rate mortgage coming in for the 30-year. We're going to get FOMC minutes. If you don't know what those are, that is basically all of the notes from the last FOMC meeting in detail. So while they may have said this at the meeting, the context for that was this, right? And so very smart people will go in there, read these minutes, and see exactly where the baseline is for hawkishness or dovishness. That's all going to be out on Wednesday. Could see a little bit of volatility off of that. Thursday, initial jobless claims are coming in. This is a weekly report, expected to be higher right now. However, we thought that we were going to see higher unemployment last week, and we did not. So do not be surprised if these job numbers come in better than expected and we get another market rally. 245,000 to 235,000, what they're currently projected, higher, which is higher than the 233,000 current, okay? And then Friday, monthly budget statement. So we don't have a whole lot of data this week to really shake the markets around. The big one this week, tariff talk, and the big beautiful deal, and the American Party. If you guys don't know, now you know. Next week, though, I think is where we start to get into some data. The 15th, we're going to get core inflation data for the month over month and the year over year, and then the inflation rate. And you can see here, as of now, we are expected to see the inflation rate go up from 2.4 to 2.5, the opposite direction of Jerome Powell's targeted level there. So, what else we got here? Baby comeback. Yeah, that. There we go. Let's go and see what we're looking at for rate cuts now. Sorry, I just flashbanged everybody. Shout out to Alex O for that line. I love that. Flashbang. Looking here at July, we are looking at a 95.3% chance of no rate cut. That means pause. No quantitative easing, continuation of quantitative tightening, right? September, which is the first window of opportunity for a rate cut, in my opinion, is going to be a 32% chance of no change, 67% chance of a rate cut. And then October, I definitely think we will get one, and it's sitting at 83.3. But I do want to point out, as we've been watching this, we had a lot of these things for like September and October that were like in the 90s, 90% chance. I believe October at one point last week was a 99.3% chance of a rate cut for October. Guys, it's now 88.3 for October. So we're seeing a drop of likelihood happening now on the months as we go out. We don't hit a 90% plus until December for a rate cut. Remember, I said at the beginning of the year when they said 4 rate cuts this year, I said we'll be lucky to see one. And that's what these charts are starting to look like now. Stocks are lower despite Bessent. If you guys don't know who Bessent is, he's one of the people he's the Treasury Secretary for President Donald Trump in the United States. Okay. They said stocks are lower despite Bessent saying several trade announcements are ahead. Let's look at this. This is a live update. Come on, give me some more. There we go. That is fresh. So stocks fell Monday as traders weighed in the latest developments on the trade front to start the week. Dow Jones slipped. Yep, we just talked about all that. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said Monday on CNBC Squawk Box that there would be several trade announcements over the next 48 hours. That means volatility. Strap in, guys. Adding that he expects it's going to be a very busy couple of days. However, Bessent will not specify which countries would be involved. President Donald Trump and the Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick were also asked on Sunday to clarify when tariffs are set to go into effect. In response, Lutnick said, tariffs go into effect August 1st, but the president is setting the rates and the deals right now. Trump nodded in approval. He said, yes, and they're going to be big, very, very big, okay? Investors have been expecting tariff rates to go into effect this week. Didn't happen. July 9th, that was the worry date, right? Now it's kicked down the road. Adding to trade worries, Trump also threatened an additional 10% tariff on countries that align with BRICS, which refers to the emerging market countries of Brazil, Russia, India, and China, and South Africa. Don't forget them. Trump did not elaborate on any specific policies with BRICS. So, on top of that, we also had Elon Musk announced his intentions over the weekend to form a new political party called the America Party. America. Investors have been less than pleased with the billionaire's forays into politics this year, which some say has damaged Tesla brand sales. Tesla down a lot today. We'll take a look at it, but it's down pretty low. Ultimately, trade negotiations usually take a long time to negotiate. Free trade arrangements have taken an average of 3 years. So it's likely not going to be over for a while, guys. I think we're just going to see the volatility shake out from this stuff, and we'll just see how it goes. Huge day of digital. And guess who did not buy Bitcoin this week? That would be good old, hey, why are you that low? Hold on. I got to get rid of the other thing. See, when that thing popped up, it totally jacks with everything. Close that window. Thank you very much. There we go. You get back up there. All my news gone. There you go. So anyway, just who did not buy any of the Bitcoin this week, guys. Michael Saylor did not buy any Bitcoin at all. And this is the first time in 3 months that he has not bought any Bitcoin, which is kind of interesting. Let's go and talk about what we saw here on the charts, guys, and let's get into that. First, let's give a shout out to the chat. Brumblebee is in here. Dave Brumbelow. Who else joined us since the last time we gave a shout out here? A lot of people. The entire Otter gang swarmed in here. They said, gang, 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 bitches, and kicked the door in. Ben Redden, what's up, brother? I see you, man. DB Cooper, Little Fish. Appreciate you guys all joining us over here. Steve, Hickey, Harp. Man, the whole gang's here. Love it. All right, let's talk about Bitcoin and what we're seeing on this chart, guys, because Bitcoin did have a little rejection and pullback here. So I pulled some new fibs. This was ran off of the highs to lows for this section here. This is where we were at. I said, this is the level that I'm watching for the high to the low. And we were watching a retracement. But I said, now that we've gone in and broken back into that level, let's just pull this from a high to low here. And let's see how these run. And what are we looking at on here, guys? We did get a nice little break up, hit that golden pocket after a bounce off of, or hit that platinum pocket after a bounce off of that 50% Fibonacci. And then it came down, touched the golden pocket for support. And now we're sitting on the value area high. This value area high coming off this volume, fixed range volume profile back here. We do have a big nipple at about 104. That would be right back in line with that 50% Fibonacci level, okay? So that's what I'm watching there. If we do pull down, first line in the sand, golden pocket, looking like 1067 to 1073. Plus, we have a dynamic reactor from Chart Prime's Market Oracle Pro Plus coming into play there. I do think that that would be a shot. But if we look at what happens here, we have not really retested since we've had this nice strong run here above the quantum reactor. When this starts to turn green, which should happen here very shortly, if you guys take a look, I'll show you when this happens. It happens at the apex of turnarounds, okay? And so if this price action can stay above in this golden pocket to the platinum pocket range, this quantum reactor is probably about 24 to 48 hours away from turning into a green quantum reactor. And if that's the case, and we come down and bounce on that, you could be looking at like 105, 106. So those are the levels that I'm watching right now on Bitcoin. Let's take a look at the oscillator and see how it's looking for us. The oscillator right now is showing us some downside movements coming off of that reversal on the oscillator pro ribbon. Money flow is coming down. True 7's coming down, but volume is looking decent right now. And so if we are to see this bounce happen, it would be because of the volume rolling in. Let's take a look at the daily chart and talk about Bitcoin here. We can see we're still, again, holding that value area high on the daily. We are sitting above the point of control. We have this nice confluence box down here. This confluence box comes in at 102.8. It's the value area low. It is the gold predictive range band and the point of control. And that would be a massive area of confluence for us to bounce off of. But let's take a look at the daily oscillators because they're giving me cause for concern. One being that we do have a divergence here that has printed on the daily. We had a bearish divergence right there. It's kind of orange, not really red. This one's a regular and this one's a hidden. So regular bearish divergence, hidden bearish divergence taking place there. And you can see how flat the candles are on RSI Prime. Typically, when we get flat on these things on top side, it does lead to little pullbacks. And that would be like here, we had a pullback over that distance. That was a pullback the last time we had this of about 5%. Nothing major. Again, I'm not overly concerned about Bitcoin right now. I would be concerned about some altcoins, not overly concerned about Bitcoin, just another opportunity for that DCA level. And if we pull this up and take a look at the DCA, guys, this is from our Discord that we give out to the members. And you can see here, looking at the best days to DCA Bitcoin, guys, it's going to be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturdays. So heading into the rest of the week, right about the time that we're getting some of that data coming in on the job reports and inflation, should be our window for our pullback and let these things play out. So if these are going to play out and we do pull down to those levels, that 105, that's why I would look at triggering that 2x DCA of the Piper's plan today, guys. Yeah, what do we have here? Let's see. Let's go check our hash ribbon. Yeah, hash rate, guys, Caprioli hash ribbons still sitting in capitulation on the miner side, but it does look like we're about to come back into another buy level. You can see here, Bring it in, bring it in. This is starting to come into play. And once this crosses back over right here, once this box starts to cross back over that line, that's when it will fire off and get that buy indicator on the hash ribbons. This has to do with miners, and they are currently in capitulation right now. So that's on a weekly chart, just so you know. James Simpson, he said, "Hey, Piper. Hey, what's up? How you doing? Piper, are you buying Pyth and Caspa?" I am not. I am not buying any altcoins right now. They need to show a lot of strength, and I don't care how, hey, they're pulling back. This is a good buy spot. Show me strength on the chart. Show me, on higher time frames that you have got run-ups coming, right? And that you started a run-up, and then I'll look at getting in on buying some alts. But as of right now, altcoins, a lot of altcoins are closer to their all-time low than they are their all-time high. And I'm not trying to feed losers. I'm going to feed winners right now. Bitcoin is winning for me. So I'm focusing on Bitcoin. I'm trading altcoins, not buying altcoins. So already flashed a buy on the daily chart. On the hash ribbon is what he's saying here. Appreciate that, Buck. Let's go take a look. No, daily has not fired a buy. Daily on at least on the Coinbase or on the Bitstamp chart, we have not triggered a buy on the daily yet, man. Let's see here. Let's check the lower levels. Let's check 2-day. Nope. Nope, no buy yet. It does say that it's got the orange dot, but not the green. The green is the buy indicator. So my XRP long is playing. Let's go. Yeah, I'm trading. Exactly. I'll trade alts right now. I'm not buying alts. There's sometimes, like Michael Saylor said, sometimes there's weeks that you hodl. That's why he didn't buy this week. And I think that overall, hodling Bitcoin right now, go for it. Everything else, up for trade. So let's go I want to go over here and grab this article again. Let's talk about Cardano. Let's go into news. Guys, if you don't know how to do this, this is how you can get all of the market news. You can look here by like stocks. You can look by ETFs, whatever. We're just going to drop down here and go into crypto. There we go. And then we're going to go look for this Cardano article because I closed out my entire Safari. So I lost everything that I had there, trying to get rid of that there it is. Trying to get rid of that stupid macroeconomy stuff. It always like wants to do this cancellation thing. It becomes its own screen. It's dumb. It's dumb. But it's a really good chart, and I need it. It's what I read every day so that I can see what's going on for the week, and that's how you stay ahead of the game. All right, let's see here. Grok. Gemini and Grok. You guys get to see how I pull all this stuff every morning right there. There we go. We asked Gemini, ChatGPT, and Cardano, ChatGPT, Gemini, and Grok, where Cardano will end up in 2025. The verdict will surprise you. This is our thumbnail today, guys. Let's go down here and take a look at it. Get rid of you. Thanks. Unlike our similar article regarding XRP, the AI solutions provided more skeptical and in some cases bearish price predictions for ADA. ChatGPT, for example, warned investors not to anticipate fireworks on Cardano's native token by the end of the year, stating expect ADA to float in the 55 to 65 cent range early in H2. So early in the second half is what they're saying. So guys, that's pretty much where Cardano is at right now. Let's go over there and take a look at it and just grab ADA. Come here, ADA. Not Ada Ace. Shout out to Ada Ace. I'm sure he's going to be watching this later. But Cardano, just regular ADA. Let's go see what it says here. Cardano is sitting right now at 58.42 cents. So if we come back over and we take a look at that article, they're saying where it's at right now, probably where it's going to be at when it ends the year. Its most aggressive scenario envisions a price surge of somewhere between $1 and $2. By the way, still would not meet its all-time high of 2021, which was $3, but said it's not very likely that the asset will go this high. Additionally, it cautioned users that if market support falters in the following months, ADA can drop well below its current levels of 60 cents. Grok was slightly more bullish on the token's future price trajectory, and its most realistic price range by the end of the year was between 90 cents and $2.05. I would take that. Sure, absolutely. That would show this, higher highs, higher low price structure, change of character. Look, it's now bullish, and then throw some money in, let it run. with an average around 121 to 148, if key resistance levels are breached and market conditions remain favorable. Ifs and ifs, right? It touched upon some of the most extreme predictions calculating online, such as ADA at $7. We'll just go ahead and put that in there, but label them as less credible without unprecedented adoption. Gemini described the overall market sentiment towards Cardano as cautiously optimistic. Why is everybody using this line of cautiously optimistic now all of a sudden? I don't know. It's odd. However, it warned that its price could struggle for the next few months and the end of the year at 55 cents, which would mean a lower level than the current one. So yeah, it would actually absolutely by the end of the year would be lower than what it is today. What would drive this volatility? Although the price targets for the end of the year differentiated, the AI solutions were united in terms of what could drive price gains or losses. If ADA is to surge towards the most bullish zones outlined in previous paragraphs, certain factors need to be aligned. ChatGPT, Grok, and Gemini said. One of the most important is the potential approval of a spot ADA ETF. The current odds, according to Polymarket, are above 80% for a green light that we would get an ETF for Cardano this year. So 80% chance of that happening. That would be one of those financial vehicles that would move in that volume to get it to those bullish hits. But if approved, they can attract significant institutional interest, which would be a price booster. Other factors that could send ADA higher include technical upgrades such as January's implementation of Plomin, which introduced a more sophisticated on-chain governance procedure and then expanded its DeFi capabilities. So, however, the AI chatbots also indicated that regularity, uncertainty, ecosystem stagnation, or broader market downturns could cap ADA at 60 cents and possibly push it even lower. Consequently, the trio warned that investors should do their own research and not rely solely on AI-based predictions. Best, truest statement in their entire report right there. So there you go, guys. Let's go back and talk about this because if we have ADA sitting at the end of the year at 60 cents, 55 to 60 cents, currently where we are right now, that would mean that altcoins did not really get their pump because I think that ADA would move in line with everything else. And when you have people talking about alt season coming, of course, I'm one of the naysayers on that. I don't think that I think there's too many altcoins and not enough liquidity to raise the entire tide of an alt season. I think that you'll see it happen in waves. It's going to be this sector, and then that's going to flush out in this sector because really it's just money moving from one place to another that's making these sectors pump. To get the entire alt season to pump, I think we would need way more money than what's in crypto right now, and it would have to not be going towards the dominance of Bitcoin. It would have to be focused on altcoin dominance. So I don't think that there's anybody out there that's serious TradFi Wall Street investors that are buying Bitcoin through ETFs that are going to go, I want to go ahead and pick up, Fartcoin or Bonk. Like, that's not their mentality. And I think even if an ETF came out, it would be a significantly less amount that they would put into an ADA ETF versus an Ethereum or a Bitcoin ETF. I mean, hell, Ethereum's ETF by itself has not performed anywhere in the realm of its dominance level to Bitcoin. So second largest crypto in the space does not look like the Ethereum ETF is the second largest in the ETF space for cryptos. I mean, it is technically, but in comparison, the comparison of crypto number 2 to crypto number 1 does not look like crypto number 2 ETF to crypto number 1 ETF. That makes sense. I think it does. Coffee break. Good. We're good. Waves on waves, sir. What else do we got going on here? Let's go take a look at some other charts. Let me clear some stuff off here real fast and let's talk about these. Thank you very much. Alrighty, let's go over to the RB charts. Bam, there we go. Welcome back, guys. Looking here. So yeah, ADA right now getting a nice pullback. I do want to pull some technicals on this really fast because I do have some very old Fibonacci's running on here. Okay. These fibs are being pulled from the low that we had back here in November 2024 up to the high that we hit here when it hit. What price did you hit, sir? You hit $1.32. Congratulations. Yeah, look how close we are let's go take a look. I want to put this on daily, and let's just talk about ADA. Let's talk about ADA. So we are right here on price action right now, right in here. Where you at? Yep, right there. We are right there on price action right now. Okay. And that white line is the bottom. So we are 58% away from the bottom right now. We are 127% away from the top. So we're closer to the bottom on Cardano than we are the top on Cardano. And that's the same with a lot of altcoins. Matter of fact, you guys can jump over and take a look at this chart. If you guys haven't seen this before, it's pretty cool. I've showed it here several times on the show, but I don't know if you guys remember it. Well, if you know where to find it. It's called CoinGo Live, and it is the all-time high on the coins. Let's put this on like the top 100. There we go. That's the top 100 coins. We're going to start with rank number 1. And if you come over here and you do percentage to its all-time high, you'll see like ICP, it's 14,466% down. It would have to go up that much to make it back to its all-time high. Let's go find other tokens. TIA. TIA's down 1,195% from its all-time high. Atom's down 989%. NEAR is down 841%. AVAX down 700%, 699. Arbitrum's down 621. Polygon Matic is Xmatic Pole. It's down 592. Stacks is down 493. Like, I mean, these are the top 100s, guys. Chainlink's down 288% from, or it had to go up 288% to hit its all-time high. The lowest one in the top 100, let's see here. It is, that's recognizable, obviously. Let's see here. Jupiter's down 11.53%. It hit its all-time high on January 19th, 2025 and hasn't gone back to there since. So it is making some rebounds to get back there, but quite a ways off on some of the other tokens in comparison to that. So don't hate them, don't date them, just trade them. Exactly, Lunar Beaches. That's it. In my opinion, right now is a time to trade altcoins, and you guys can do that on Blowfin with us. We've got a nice promotion going on right now. If you want a Rolex, as the guy said, who the hell wants a Rolex? Hey, some people want Rolexes, okay, man? Let's go over here and see where that's at. I got this promo. I got to bring it up because that's what they want me to do that. They said, hey, can you promote this promo? Sure. Piper Academy and Blowfin, trade and deposit to win bonuses and a Rolex. You can get a Rolex, $9,400. If you ever wanted a Rolex, I don't. I want an Apple Watch. That's all I want. AirPods, you can get stuff like that. You can get an iPhone 16, so on and so forth. And plus, they're doing some good cash in this partnership too. So if you guys want to check it out, check out the Blowfin link down below. Trade with us here at the Piper Academy. JR, Lunar Beaches, OC, Buck dropping some great trade calls over there in the Discord. In the Discord, and it's $5. It's the cheapest Discord around, man. You get the Piper plan for investing, how to DCA and take profits, and then you also get all the trade setups, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So yeah, the guys, looking at these charts, how far we are off from all-time highs. It makes me not feel too bullish. And I know you're supposed to buy when there's blood in the streets, but we haven't shown. Why would I want to keep buying when it's blood in the streets making these lower lows, right? When I can just wait until we get something that comes in here and goes, hey, look, I made a higher high. Look at that change of structure. Isn't that beautiful? And then I can start picking up heavily here instead of DCAing and losing valuation. Remember, if something drops 90% and you buy it and it drops 9%, okay, another 9%, you're now down 99%. You can lose 90% of what you just bought on a 9% move. It's not pretty, guys. So buy something. Hey, it used to be $1. It's at 10 cents, and then it drops down to 1 cent. You're now 90% out, and a 10% drop to a 1% drop is not that hard. When people start looking like they're out of business, then that's it. It runs. Ben Redden said fake Rolexes look the same. They do. You're absolutely right. Middle East. You want to buy a fake Rolex, guys? Just go to the Middle East. They're sold on all the corners, and they'll tell you it's real. It's real. This is a good deal, but they look real. A lot of people, it's hard to tell. So, Apple Watch guy myself. I agree. Lunar Beaches. I agree. Just sell the Rolex to your local drug dealer. He'll pay you in cash for it. Do you have a local drug dealer? Because I don't, BC. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. All right. Let's go and see what we're looking at here on some other tokens. Have we got any movers today? I want to talk about Circle before we go. I do want to talk about that. Looking at XRP, maybe it's up 1.6% today. Oh, nice bounce. Look, here's a good setup. We came down from the top. We started at the bottom. Now we're here, right? That's the retracement level. Watching this, comes in, hit the golden pocket beautifully right there for a good bounce. And then we had a pump up and we came back down. What is this right here? That is that coming down and bouncing on the 50% move. I think this is very likely going to head back up to 271. Guys, check out XRP for a good trade. Got the very bullish level to bounce on, almost right on line with my volume node that I had there also. That was coming in at 189. So let's see what else we got. Hey, Keith, I may be dropping a little bit early today, Crypto Coin Mindset. Solo showing it. I'm not an Alex, though. That I cannot. That man's got streaming endurance for days. So, is an Apple Watch bougie? I don't think it is. I'll show you guys a bougie watch tomorrow. Actually, I'll show you a bougie watch today on my on the VIP stream. I bought this thing in Honduras, and I've had it. I bought it at the Diamond District in Honduras, off the cruise ship, and I've had it for years and forgot all about it. And my wife said, "Hey, you ever going to wear this watch?" And I was like, "Where did I get that?" Years ago, I picked that up, like pre 2020. A whole nother lifetime ago. All right, let's go look at Circle. Let's talk about Circle here. So Circle on the hourly, these were the levels that I was telling you guys to keep an eye on. I said, we watch these levels down here on the retracement. Where are my fibs? Can I get my fibs, sir? There we go. There's the fibs way down yonder. You are not the right fibs. I don't know what happened here. All right. Anyway, I can redo this. I'll show you how we do it in real time. How about that? We were watching this level here. I said, look, we got a lower support band of predictive ranges. Here's our gold level. I said, if we bounce on this level and we hold the point of control and value area low, we're very likely going to return back to this level here. That is our upper gold band, our lower gold band, and our delta median. Majority of price action occurs inside of this area. Plus, when you look at the volume that was coming in on this, it was coming back up. Money flows coming back up. Guys, today we're sitting at $200 and we bounced perfectly down there in that level that I said to watch, that 175. That was where I was like, hey, watch down here. This $175 level is going to be a good buy level. I do have another fib that I had pulled here. Let's pull that in. Let's do that. We'll do it in real time. In real time, sir. All right, let's bring that up to there. There we go. That was also the 786. There's my fib that I was watching for. Lock your fibs. So yeah, it's 786, 176. And I said, guys, if we come down and we find support on the platinum pocket, definitely heading back up. And we are seeing that now. So it's up to 202.78 today, up a whopping, I think, 7% here on the market open today. So Circle. If you guys got Circle down at the 176 to 175 range that I talked about last week for its bottom buy-in levels, congratulations to you. I know Veritech picked up some and stuff like that. So you guys are awesome. I will get myself set. Thanks for the heads up. You're welcome, Crypto Coin Mindset. Give me a thumbs up in the chat when you're ready. I'll just keep chatting until I send them your way. How about that? Let's go and take a look at some more articles here, guys. I did lose, like I said, all of the stuff that I had saved because stupid macro calendar, but we can go in here and take a look at what I was watching on. Yeah, we'll go in here. We'll go to news on some news stuff that was coming in. Where is it at? Analyst predicts XRP will reach $20 to $30. There you go. Let's see, any other articles of interest in here today? Strategy plans, $4.2 billion. Oh yeah, there was one thing was the amount of profit that Strategy raised in Q2, guys. Holy cannoli. This thing rocked. Let's go in here and let's drop this one. Let's go drop it. Strategy skips Bitcoin buy this week, which we talked about at the beginning. Where Radical Crypto Show. I don't know. What are you talking about, Alexander G? What was that a chart of? James Simpson. That was a chart of Circle. We put it out here on the show back in April and said this is a stock. It's so basically Circle Internet Group, CRCL is the ticker. It is the company that makes USD coin. And so they were talking about the IPO launch back in April. And I said, look, this is going to be a stock to buy when they launch. Why? Because of the Genius Bill, the Stablecoin Act, and it's a US-based company, regulated and everything registered with the SEC in the United States and US-based completely. So that is the company to watch when you look at stablecoin adoption for banks and this and that. And it absolutely has. An IPO launched at $31, sitting at $200, hit an all-time high right under $300, and now it's making a return back up off of the initial sell-off. But when you look at the bill, they just filed for a national bank charter. Circled it. Sorry, I was reading Lunar Beaches. Yeah, but how many of those alts are already dead? 99.999% of them. Also, just look at what's on Coinbase, Robinhood, Webull, wherever typical retail will be. There you go. I don't know who you're talking to, Alex, or Lunar Beaches, but you are 100% right. Looking forward to it, LVC. We have different opinions. I can't wait to argue with BC on the Radical Crypto Show. What is the Radical Crypto Show? What do you guys got going on behind closed doors, man? Let me know. We'll do some promo on it. It's going to be the LBC and BC Weekend Show. Nice. That's awesome. You guys do you, boo. All right, so Strategy skipped buy in Bitcoin this week, reported $14 billion in unrealized gains in Q2. Michael Saylor Strategy, the world's largest corporation holder of Bitcoin, reported $14 billion in unrealized gains for just the second quarter. That's 3 months, guys. The company recorded unrealized gains on its digital asset holdings, along with the deferred tax expense of $4.04 billion before, according to filings to the SEC on Monday. As of June 30th, the company's digital asset carrying value was $64.36 billion. Despite the gains, Strategy paused its Bitcoin buying spree last week, with the company's Bitcoin holdings remaining at around 597,325 Bitcoin. Following its recent 4,980 Bitcoin purchase. Right now, though, not seeing a whole lot. So, all right, guys, we're about to head over and raid my dude over there, Keith, and Trade Intuition. Bingo, bango. We're going to head over there to them. That's all we got time for today. OC is going to cover the show tomorrow. I got to go out on a boat. Don't call me Boo. El Boosie. There you go. We're going out on a boat tomorrow with the family before they leave. We were supposed to go out on July 4th. We had rain on July 4th. And by the way, that was the day that, hearts go out to Central Texas here, Hill Country, still looking for a lot of children down there at that camp. So we did not go out on July 4th, but we are going to go out tomorrow morning, and it's 8 o'clock. And I typically start at 9. So OC will be covering tomorrow morning show. Again, not a whole lot of stuff this week going on the macro side, so I wouldn't be too worried about it. OC's got you covered. Let's go ahead over there and check out Crypto Coin Mindset with Keith and Trade Intuition. And guys, don't forget to tune into Lunar Beaches Markets After Dark. You got BC Port Corp with Good Morning Crypto tomorrow morning, and we'll be back at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with the news, the charts, the markets, the headlines, the macro, and everything you need to have knowledge, because knowledge is profit, guys. When you get over to Trade Intuition Show, or Crypto Coin Mindset Show, make sure you drop that graduation caps in the chat. Let them know the alumni is here. We will catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.
I don't know what they keep telling me. I gotta pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket. gon' keep on rolling out the wheels flow low. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper.
Emotional damage.
Train ready. What a line from OCI. Form a Mexican spaghetti, yo. Crunch crypto with a deep dive to reject dime. And if you like the visual powered by Car Prime, then you were part of that num nada sauce spine. But if you have step, fall back to offline.
Boom shakalaka!
We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling out the wheels flow low. Sound off.
To get rhythm, the ZTS rhythm. Rip it, Alexandra.
Yeah, that's my alumni, you know what I mean?
You can't handle the truth!
That was awesome, dude.